Coming together to share our lives, standing on and feeling blue light, giving you some peace of mind. On the Blue Family Unity Show.
If you're part of the law enforcement family, this is your show. Here we talk about all things Leo family life, the good, the bad, the funny, and the sad, and everything in between.
On the Blue Family Unity Show.
The Blue Family Unity Show was created, written, and produced by Elsa Kurt. Music written and produced by Dan Tracy. Crime is exploding across America. Defunding the police is causing even more chaos and increased crime in communities we live, work, and raise our families. Defunding the police, ironically, requires more police officers to work overtime, which costs taxpayers more money and leads to decreased officer morale, increased burnout, and unfortunately, more mistakes. Less than lethal options will simply result in more fatal police shootings. We need your support to refund the police. Fight back against defunding the police. Politicians want to slash police. Tell them no. Do your part to support police. Show you care. Your donations will go towards development of a national media advertising blitz to rally Americans who are sick and tired of the attacks on law enforcement and focus on the negative impact the Defund the Police movement is having on our country. The establishment of a strike team of researchers and reporters to highlight the devastating impact of defunding the police entities. We will work within our communities to highlight both positive stories of law
So
enforcement.
I'm throwing them the thank you party to show them I still appreciate them. To my heroes, I want to say don't stop. Please don't give up. Many do not care or appreciate the sacrifices that you make every day, that I do.
And bring you the stories that are ignored by the mainstream media. Donate today, and together, let's refund the police. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blue Family Unity. I'm your host, Elsa Kurt. I hope you're all doing well this week. I am doing pretty well, except for the fact that I'm always in some kind of rage or rant over something. It's probably because I watch way too much news and listen to too much news. Don't do that. It'll make you crazy. But now I say that, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you some news. I'm going to share with you some news. We're going to do, let's do the top 3 stories. How about that? Let's do that. At least they're my top 3 stories for today, for this week. And that's the beauty of having your own show, doing whatever you want, because you can pick the topics. You can talk about them as long as you want, say whatever you want about them, and nobody's going to tell you that you can't. So, hey, listen, if you want to do what I get to do and lots of other people like me get to do, which is have your own podcast, it is super, super easy to do that. All you have to do is go to the link in my show's notes and join Buzzsprout, because it is absolutely hands down the easiest podcasting platform to work with. I love it. It makes my life so easy. I think I had one problem, which ended up being my problem, not their problem, not a Buzzsprout problem. Something I did, and they answered my email. I emailed them, they answered it right away, and they were like, "Sure, no problem, we'll fix it." I'm like, "But I think it's something I did, not something you did." And they were like, "No worries, we'll take care of it. We'll help you." And they did. They were amazing, and the response was super fast and just fantastic. But like I said, they make life so easy for podcasters. And if that's something you think you want to do, you should definitely give it a try. So check out the link in my show's notes and join Buzzsprout today. That'd be really cool. All right, we're going to talk about 3 stories that I picked out for you here that I thought were pretty interesting. And hopefully you will too. They're it's not obscure stuff. I mean, unless you're watching mainstream media, then it probably is obscure. Because, they don't like to share anything that isn't part of their agenda. So let's see, what have we got for you today? So I know, so the first story I wanted to share with you comes out of, no, that's not the one. Where's the one I want to show? No, she's funny, but we'll share that after. So this one comes to you out of Seattle. Seattle police fly Gadsden flags on their patrol cars as they fight the vaccine mandate. So that is going on right now. This is a big thing in Seattle and departments across the country. But Seattle gets special mentions. They lost, I think it was about 350 police officers due to all of the budget cuts and defund the police movement, who, as you know, Seattle is really big on that. And they've been, reaping the consequences of that, which is, insane crime and low policing and all of those things that are so unbelievably predictable, and yet they act surprised. But yeah, so now the latest is that those very same police officers that they basically shit on for months and months and months, and with no respect, no decency, no anything, in fact, kicked them while they were down. Now they want to mandate the vaccine for those same officers. And of course, I'm sure there's plenty who got the vaccine totally fine, which, by the way, needs to be stated regularly, not anti-vax, anti-mandate. Just so we're clear, nothing against anybody who chooses to get the vaccine and then the boosters and then the boosters after that and then the boosters after that, and then you get the idea. But this is really just about the mandate itself, and police officers saying, no, I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want it. So no, thank you. So they're saying, yeah, we're really screwed right now. Like, we hardly have any police officers. Crime's like super crazy, but we're going to fire you because, I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. That's apparently their logic. I don't know. It's a liberal governing illogic is what it is. So anyhow, so one of the things I want to bring up here, if you don't know what the Gadsden flag is, it is the yellow flag with the timber snake coiled up and ready to strike, or he is actually striking, because I'm looking at the picture right now. He's striking, and it's got the words underneath it, "Don't tread on me." So I'm not going to lie to you. I did not even know that the name of the flag was the Gadsden flag. I always just called it the don't tread on me flag, because I didn't know. And then I realized that I didn't know and that I needed to know. So I needed to, if I'm going to talk about it, I have to know what the hell I'm talking about, right? That makes sense, I think. So I'm going to, if you don't know, maybe a lot of you do know. Don't brag that you're smarter than me. But I didn't know, so maybe you don't know either. So I'll give you a quick little history of the Gadsden flag, this is brand new news to me. I didn't know this. So the Gadsden flag was created, and by the way, I'm getting this from Revolutionary War and Beyond.com. That's where I'm getting this information. So the Gadsden flag was created by South Carolina Congressman Christopher Gadsden for the first Commander-in-Chief of the United States Navy, Essex Hopkins. The yellow flag with a rattlesnake and the words "Don't tread on me" was flown by Hopkins from his flagship in the USS Alfred and hoisted by Revolutionary War hero John Paul Jones. It was also the first flag of the United States Marines. I didn't know that. That's really cool. So it goes back for a long time, has some deep meaning to it, which I think is really, really interesting. So there you have it. That is the Gadsden flag for you. Now, why I'm talking about this in this context is because in protest, some of these Seattle officers, there's photographs, maybe video even too. There's photos of police officers' cruisers with the Gadsden flag hanging out the windows. So they are very, very strongly protesting these mandates. So in August, Governor Jay Inslee announced at a press conference along Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan that state workers must get vaccinated in order to remain employed Seattle implemented its own vaccine requirement for city employees, which of course, police are city employees. Let's see. The president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, which represents more than 1,300 Seattle officers, argued that officers should have the option to wear face masks or get tested regularly for COVID-19 without having their current assignments stripped. So for some reason, it says this mayor is refusing that. It's very interesting. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with their rabid anti-police stance. So anything that would be good for police officers is apparently a bad thing. You know, of course, the obvious, crime is surging. It's absolutely insane there. Somewhere in this article, it says something about somebody complaining about this is really affecting the tourism of Seattle. Oh my God, who's going to Seattle these days to enjoy it? I can't imagine. And I apologize to the residents, to the people who live there, to people who love Seattle. I apologize for my shock and disbelief that anybody would want to go there under these current circumstances during these current times. I've never been. I have no opinion. I have no personal opinion about Seattle, negative or positive. Well, actually, I guess I do have a negative opinion based on how they treat their police officers. So that's an issue to me. So, you know. So yeah, so that's what's going on over there. All right, let's end this with a fun one. What do you say? Let's end this one with a fun one, huh? So the #1 spot on iTunes hip hop chart is none other than this little ditty right here.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. You know what they saying, ho? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go, Brandon. It is, it hit #1 on the iTunes hip hop charts. So I think that says a lot. Now, don't you? Is there anybody who doesn't understand the "Let's Go, Brandon" chant? Does anybody not know what that is anymore? So there was I think it was NASCAR. There was a race car driver being interviewed. And in the background, the crowd was chanting. The reporter interpreted it. I don't know if she really thought that they were saying this or that she was just trying to cover it up. Your guess is as good as mine, unless you actually know. But this is what she thought they were chanting.
Let's go, Brandon.
So yeah. So then what happened was rapper Loza Alexander sings the tune. And of course, it's titled "Let's Go, Brandon." In a voice repeatedly chants the iconic anti-Biden mantra and is immediately followed by a sample of a crowd chanting the original line. And it is definitely worth a listen. It's a very, very catchy tune. It's a lot of fun. I happen to love it. So I think you should head over to iTunes and maybe download it and show some love for that artist because why not? All right. So that is your 3 stories. So today we're going to be talking to Rachel from Coins for Cops. She'll be coming right up in a few minutes. Another great organization doing really, really great, awesome things for our law enforcement community. And she's got a great story, great reason behind that. And I'm really looking forward to talking with her because I think you all know by now how passionate I am about finding resources and things and stuff to better the lives of our law enforcement family. And not just the law enforcement officers, but of course the spouses, partners, significant others, family members, and friends, just supporters, people who back the blue. And so I really like finding groups like Rachel's who just go above and beyond because they see the need. They see a need for police officers to get some recognition and appreciation for the difficult job that they do. Listen, I know in my videos that I post, God forbid I say something pro police, which obviously I say something pro police pretty much every single day. And so basically every day I get somebody trying to counter that with their, words of wisdom, which are usually things like F the police and things like that. Those are their words of wisdom. Somebody actually commented, I should just do a whole show. I really should. Maybe I will. I should do a whole show of things people say in the comment section of my videos. One person wanted to tell me that police officers, only 50 police officers are killed a year versus the 1,000 that are killed a year, citizens that are killed annually by police. And to which, of course, I responded. I don't always respond. I actually oftentimes don't even respond. And I just shrug it off, because if you're going to spew stupidity, I can't even deal. I just can't even deal. So, so this time I did respond, because it was just too silly to not to respond, and corrected his numbers. And, but this is what we deal with. This is what we deal with every day. People sharing incorrect information, and that annoys the shit out of me. So obviously I'm going to, do stuff to counter that. And already, my whole platform is about backing the blue, supporting police families, doing for them. So so I get to talk to really cool people who do even better things than I do. Like, this is my little podcast, my little talky talk. The most important part about this podcast is I get to bring people like Rachel on, and some of our other guests. That we've had some really, really great guests. And this will be another one. So stay tuned. She'll be on in a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as promised, we are here with Rachel from Coins for Cops. And thank you so much for joining me on the show today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is an honor. I love your
Thank
shows.
you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to throw myself under the bus here for everybody who watches the show. We were supposed to actually do this interview yesterday, but I did a rookie mistake and never checked our time zones, and it turns out we're on opposite sides of the country. So so we did not get to do the interview yesterday, and I had to email you, and you probably thought I was crazy asking you like to check your Zoom, because I was trying to like politely say but not say, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
And you were probably like, we've got hours to go, chill, lady.
Okay, it'll work out.
But we made it happen. We worked it out. So all good. All right. So if you will you tell everyone about you and your organization?
Yeah, so I started Coins for Cops probably around May of this year. I'm very new. And it just came after a couple of weeks of seeing how sad and angry and defeated a lot of the police officers in my area looked. And, after hearing how the mainstream media especially was villainizing the police officers, it angered me so much. I knew I wanted to do something. Now, I didn't know what I wanted to do right away, and Coins for Cops kind of just materialized, but it just started with going out of my way to like go say thank you or shake a hand or smile and say hello. I mean, even just that made a big difference. But what I've realized with this, especially now with the mandate issue, and there's so many police officers, I'm sure you've seen the videos now that are starting to pop up, and they're incredibly sad, of the 22-year veterans or the 15-year veterans who just became sergeant, who are now being forced. They're not losing their jobs. I keep telling people that words mean things. They're not losing their jobs. They're being forced out of their jobs. This is not a choice. And it's heartbreaking, and it's not only heartbreaking, it's dangerous. These are really the best of our best men and women, some of them who are are being forced out. And where does that leave the citizens?
Right.
You know, and so long story short, this all started just because I really just wanted to remind them that people still do care. People still do appreciate them, and it's been working actually. So it's been a
Absolutely.
really
Well,
nice
I
thing.
I do know, you know, firsthand from hearing from law enforcement officers from all over the country, it is something as simple as a thank you, as an acknowledgement, as just an ounce of compassion. And I've had ones tell me that it brings them to tears, because it is so rare and they feel so isolated and disconnected from the communities that they serve, because because of a lot of it has to do with the mainstream media, and of course the activist groups that are want to defund the police. And you're so right with these mandates. It is infuriatingly ironic what's going on right now. So you have the cities and towns and areas that are in the most need of policing being stripped of their police officers because of these mandates. So it's not, and it's exactly like you said. I'm so glad you said that. You're so right. Words matter, and they are not losing their jobs. Their jobs are being taken away from them because they are making personal health decisions for their own bodies, like the rest of us and anyone else who's dealing with these mandates right now.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Absolutely incredible. Now, so because you're so well aware of the public, or some of the public sentiment towards law enforcement, what was the reaction that people gave you in doing this? Has it been positive, negative, a little bit of mix? I'm very curious to see how this was received.
Yeah, as time has progressed since the May, more so when I very first started it, I had a little bit more pushback from just
Mhm.
people like, oh, I hate it was the same tactics that the mainstream media uses, nothing new.
Mhm.
And you know, all I say to those people is, that's your opinion, but they do a lot more than what you think.
Mhm.
And that's the biggest issue here. A lot of people, they don't realize what police officers have to go through. Like, I used to be a firefighter, and so I would work
Mm.
hand in hand with police officers all the time. And they were the ones, I've said this before, but the police were the ones that protected us. They had to go in before we did if there was a hostile situation. And what they have to do, and the amount of stress they must be under after every call. Am I going to have another person who's going to flip me off and swear at me? And that's probably one of the better parts of their day. I mean, the things that they see, people just don't realize how much police officers do. And on a positive note, people don't realize all the wonderful things police do that never gets any recognition. That's why on my website, I try the best I can to only put positive articles on there about all the things cops do. Like, they buy a hat and gloves for a homeless lady. There was just an article that came out about a police officer who saw this woman at a gas station just sitting there, and he found out that she was so paycheck to paycheck that she had to wait till midnight
Mm.
before she could have enough money to pay for her gas, and she was with her
Wow.
2-year-old, and so the police officer paid for her gas. And the article went on, and it was so true. He goes, we do this stuff all the time, not that we want any recognition for it. We just want people to know that what the media says about us is not true, and it's absolutely accurate. And yeah, there's always going to be issues that arise. I mean,
Right.
there's over 700,000 officers.
Mhm.
And to pick and choose, oh, this one means the collective.
Right.
It's really bothersome, this collective idea. And it's not just with the police now in our world, but this collective idea where the one means everybody. It's just
Right. Oh,
so
absolutely. And of course we see it so much with policing, and absolutely it is in all careers and walks of life. And it's a basic lack of compassion and humanity that has been lacking. And I mean, we could go all day about the causes of that, but Social media being one of the biggest ones, and as we're recording right now, I've got a TikTok live going on, and the things that people say are just amazing. And I know for a fact that not a single one of them, okay, we'll go crazy and say maybe one of them would say the things that they say on social media. They wouldn't say it to your face. They would
Yeah.
never. And it creates this false perception and this, they think they're protected behind there and they can say whatever they want. So, and of course, we all know that anybody that does those types of things that is hurtful towards other people, especially strangers for absolutely no reason, then that they can,
Yeah.
that's a absolute deficit in their character and something, severely wrong with them. However, when it comes to police, they're expected, like I can fight back. I can say whatever I want to them. I can block them. I can do anything I want. You can do anything you want in response to them. However, our police officers, they're fighting with their hands tied behind their backs and with, duct tape over their mouths because they can't defend themselves. They're simply not allowed to. So I'm so thankful to people like you and our mutual friend, Jason over at Caps for Cops, who go out in the world and do these things and take the initiative. I mean, this was really incredible. And I really love the whole concept. So I'm going to make you talk a little bit more about that. I know there's something to do with challenge coins, right? Could you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, so the challenge coin idea just came from, it originally started, I wanted to give, Starbucks cards. That's how it originally started. But then I was like, I don't like Starbucks. No offense to anybody who does. I just don't personally like them at all.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to support a company I don't like.
Yeah.
And so, plus I felt like it was so wasteful. There was all this plastic that was now going to be thrown away, whatever. So I was like, no, that's not a good idea. And then I thought Fives for Cops was my next idea, where I was just going to give $5 and they could put it towards their lunch or whatever. And I go, most departments won't even accept that. And it felt tacky. It felt like the grandmother who was giving you $12 on college. It just wasn't
Yeah.
great. So then I went back and I was like, challenge coins might be an idea, but I always thought they were too, expensive to do large scale. So I started looking into it and I found a wonderful company who I could work with and made the design that same night and had my first order out to ship to me in the next week. And that was pretty much it. So it just kind of worked out that way. And the feedback on it's been really amazing. Now you asked a question, how did the public react? Interesting. I have how the police departments reacted. Especially for the first ones, before I had anybody delivered to, before I had my website made, before anything. I will say they were mostly skeptical of me, and I don't blame them. They were like, you're who and you want to do what? And I was like, I just want to give you guys a thank you gift. And they just, it was hard to get in at first. Now, now what's really nice is I have the ability to say, I've given to over 1,100 officers. I'm in multiple states and I'm now in Japan, believe it or not.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that one. So I can say I'm out of country now too.
Yeah.
But now with that behind it, it's a lot, they're much more receptive. And I won't tell you the name of the police department just because I don't want to out anybody, but I just, I'm trying to adopt right now a fairly large police department. And they wrote me back and it was one of the most beautiful but sad emails because they said, my goodness, this is amazing. You don't know how much we need this right now. Our morale is so low and it's just heartbreaking. So I am beyond thrilled. I am so happy that I can try to do just something tiny just to help them.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's been nice.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, tell me a little bit about, I did see on the website something about adopting a police officer or adopting a department. Is that right? How can people do that?
So if they can, there's a contact page on my website. They can just contact me. And then, what I'm asking them to do, I prefer people to donate or adopt, whole departments, because I don't like people getting left out. And I will work with you on that. So if people, basically what I'll do is I'll find out the department, I'll call, I'll see how many personnel, because I also give to records and dispatch. And as in the one in Arizona that I gave to, I also gave to their volunteers. They have an extensive volunteer list that does a lot of work. So it's not just the sworn officers, it's everybody involved.
Nice.
And I'll work with you on that. I'll give you a price point of what it will cost. And just so everybody's clear, I do not make a single penny on any of this. There's no admin fees or anything like that. It's just me, and I've had wonderful volunteers that have helped me not only raise some money, but also help me write the cards, because each card is handwritten.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but outside of that, there's no money. So every single penny that you donate goes back to an officer, just so everybody knows that. Yeah.
That's just incredible. I was going to ask you too, if you were a one-woman show, and you pretty much are, with, of course, with the exception of your awesome volunteers. But I mean, this is quite an undertaking, a huge endeavor. When you, like you said, we have over 700,000 police officers, and I forget, I think it was like 1,700 police departments. Is that? Am I making that? I might be making that number up. I have so many numbers floating in my head,
Right.
but
I actually don't know that one.
yeah. But there's, obviously a heck of a lot of police departments out there, and your reach has been incredible. You said you've only been doing this since May. Is that right? Since May?
Yeah, my first coins went out in June, because it takes about a month. People also need to realize, this might be helpful too. When you start to work with me, it takes me a month to get an order in. So unless I have the coins on hand, which oftentimes I don't, because I'm always giving them to the police departments. It's kind of like a month-long process. So you have some time to raise the money too, to help for your department. And it's really wonderful. You have no idea how much the police officers love, like, the presentation. All of them have been very excited about taking the pictures, and especially when the community members come rather than just me. It's so much nicer. So I really highly encourage communities to get involved, and you guys come up with the money. And then, especially if it's out of state where I can't get to, then you guys get to deliver to the officers, take the picture, and then send it back to me so I could put it on my website. I don't do anything else with the pictures outside of the Coins for Cops Facebook and my website. That's all I do.
Nice. That's just incredible. I'm still blown away that you came up with this completely on your own, and how it's evolved and grown. And the website itself, so people know what to go to, coins, is it the number 4 or the letter?
F-O-R.
Go ahead. FOR. Okay. I know, because Jason confused me with his. I'm like, is it 4 or is it?
No,
okay,
absolutely.
so it's coinsforcops.net. That's right. Okay, yeah. I'm like, I know I just looked at it like 10 minutes before we went live. I can't forget it already. And they can go there and they can direct donate, or they can do, adopt a department, and you're accessible all the time to them. They just shoot you an email basically, and tell you what they'd like to do, who they'd like to sponsor or adopt, I should say, not sponsor. That is so cool.
Yeah, and I'm very willing to talk to anybody, and I normally get back in touch with people within a couple hours. I'm always working, so I'm always near my computer. So
yes.
So I'll get back to you quickly.
Hey, and by the way, thank you for your service, firefighter. That's pretty badass right there.
I was a volunteer firefighter for 2 years up in Washington State, and it was an incredible experience. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, unfortunately, it was kind of at the time. It was a long time ago, but it was kind of at that time where we were going through, at least in Washington, a lot of the cuts. So there weren't any firefighters being hired at the time, and it just went in another direction. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, understandable. Yeah. So how far or near are you from Seattle? Do I dare ask?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Or back then. I grew up in Spokane, and that was about a 6-hour drive.
Okay.
But now, driving wise from Seattle would probably be, I don't know, 13 or 14 hours. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got some space there from all that madness.
Yes. Yeah. Although I'm in the California area, so I'm.
Oh, you are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so many things that could be said.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Connecticut. Yeah, so we're literally complete opposite
Oh.
ends of the country there, sides of the country, I
Oh.
should say. Yeah, it's no better here. Not really. Yeah. Yeah, I'm blue state, so it's a little rough going.
Yeah. I'm just keep crossing my fingers. Things will start to get better. Yeah, exactly.
It will, it has to, because they're pushing too hard, too far, too extreme, too crazy. And the slingshot effect, I think will happen at some point. I mean, it can't happen soon enough, but
Yeah.
boy, oh boy. But most importantly, thank you for being somebody who just decided, listen, I don't like what I'm seeing here. I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to do my part to better the lives of these people who are going out into our communities and just taking it all right on the chin, day in and day out. And, like we both have seen the comments and the attitude and the mentality directed at them. It's that people, have literally forgotten that these are actual human beings
Yeah.
who have, families and children and who are somebody's son and daughter and loved one. And they see them only as an entity, and that's a
Yeah.
huge part of the problem, that you stop seeing the people. It's like you stop seeing the trees through the forest, you stop seeing the people.
Yes.
And this is such a huge help what you're doing. And like I said, I know for a fact that you are bringing a lot of smiles, a lot of relief to a lot of people out there. So thank you so much for everything that you're
Yeah.
doing.
Thank you. And I will say on that, you made a great point. These are people, and they feel tremendous amount of feelings. And in fact, I have a police officer friend right now who's struggling just with everything. And, it's heartbreaking. And just so you know how a lot of the police are reacting to this, I've ran into a number of police, and it's funny, either they'll recognize me if they happen to be there when I was actually delivering, or I'll say, hey, I'm Rachel, I'm the Coins for Cops girl, and their whole faces light up. And I've had a number of them actually like open their pocket and pull out their coin. They're like, I keep it with me. And yeah, so that's
cool.
it's been really nice. So I'm now the Coins for Cops lady. In fact, I had an officer recognize me on the street the other day. So
that's so awesome.
Famous.
That is so has this become like kind of like your full-time thing? Because this is very all-encompassing.
Oh, no.
So this must take up like a lot. This is still a side job. You
Yeah.
still have like oh my gosh, where do you get all the
Yeah,
energy?
no,
I need
before you feel sorry for me, I have ungodly amounts of energy. So it's absolutely fine. No, I work 2 jobs because, like I said, I don't make a single dime off of this. So no,
Right.
I work 2 jobs. I'm also an active volunteer in quite a few of other things in the area. So no, I just like to work.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I listen, that you're speaking my language. I totally get. I said to somebody, I heard somebody say the other day, I'm pretty sure it was a child, say that they were bored. And I said, listen, I don't even understand what that word means. There is not enough time in the day to be bored. I can't even fathom boredom.
Yeah,
Like that's such a bizarre concept. They're just, maybe it's because I'm getting older, like a lot older. That I'm like, oh my God, time is so precious. Ooh,
No, it's funny you bring that up, because whenever my friends would be like, I'm bored, I would actually get like irritated. I was like, there's so many things you can go do. Here, you can help me write cards now.
Yes, exactly. Oh, why do you have to be on the other side of the country? I feel like we would have a blast together. I'm pretty sure here.
Well, if I ever make it over there, I'll give you a call, and then we'll go have some fun.
Same. I'll be knocking on your door. I'll be like, Rachel, let's hang out. Like, oh God, here's that lady. Oh, okay. So let's tell everybody again how they can find you.
Yep. Go to coins4cops.net. You can look all through my website, and then you can find me on the contact page. If you don't want to contact me and you just want to donate, there is a donate button, and that will go into a general fund. And that general fund just goes to, like, for example, I'm trying to adopt about 1,100 officers right now, and it's not a cheap thing. So I need all the donations that I can I can get, and they will be promised be used for a very good cause. Every penny goes to an officer. So
outstanding. Are you on any of the social media platforms too, like not TikTok, but well, I mean, sure, TikTok, but Facebook, or I mean, you know, Facebook or
I am on Facebook. I am not a social media person. So
Gotcha.
it took Jason from Caps for Cops pushing me to even get a Facebook page. So thank you, Jason, because I was like, no, I don't like social media. So yes, I'm just on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this has been Rachel from Coins for Cops, and thank you again. And we're gonna have to have you back on the show again because we got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely, whenever you want.
Outstanding. All right, take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Coming together to share our lives, standing on the thin blue line, giving you some peace of mind on the Blue Family Unity Show.
If you're part of the law enforcement family, this is your show. Here we talk about all things Leo family life, the good, the bad, the funny and the sad, and everything in between.
On the Blue Family Unity Show.
The Blue Family Unity Show was created, written, and produced by Elsa Kurt. Music written and produced by Dan Tracy.